How you guys doing? This is your boy Still Poetic coming in with another gameplay. This is game 3 of the Memphis Grizzlies versus the Los Angeles Clippers. We're playing at the Staples Center. Um, Again, these are 1-minute quarters just to give you a view of what the game may be. So I want you to take a moment, hit us up on Twitter, GIACDOTCOM. If you have your own gameplays, send them to us at bids@gamingisacalling.com. Like, favorite, subscribe to this channel, share it with your family and your friends. Here I picked the Los Angeles Clippers. I think that they're definitely going to win against the Memphis Grizzlies. Part of the reason is that I think that over these past 66 games of the season that the Clippers have put together a nice squad. After the trade deadline, they picked up Nick Young from the Wizards, and I think he may be not the missing link, but definitely a favorable option for the team. I think that Memphis Grizzlies are still a relatively young team, still gelling together. Maybe they need another link, like a solid power forward or a solid center. It may help them. Nothing against Marc Gasol, because he plays very, very well, but they need something. I'm not exactly sure what it is, but they do have some solid talent on their team. They picked up Tony Allen in a trade a year or two back. They have Gilbert Arenas they picked up at mid-season. He used to play for Orlando previously, and previous to that he played for the Washington Wizards, which would be my hometown team. Marc Gasol is the brother of Paul Gasol that plays for the Lakers. So, he's been probably getting tips. O.J. Mayo is a former first-round pick. And Zach Randolph is the bad boy that, played in Chicago and New York, but he's playing very, very well in Memphis. He just recently signed an extension for a couple more seasons in the prime of his career. We're getting ready for the tip-off here, and essentially I take it, and I'm going to try to take it this time. So, let's get to it. 3, 2, 1. Let's tip off. I picked up the tip off over to Chris Paul over to Blake Griffin over to Randy Ford. He pops a 3. Nasty. He didn't make it. Rudy Gay gets the rebound. Over to Mike Conley. If you remember, Mike Conley played with Greg Oden, the #1 pick for the Portland Trail Blazers, and that was a nice pass by him. Chris Paul brings the ball up after inbound from my man Caron Butler. Caron Butler used to play for the Mavericks. He pulls up from the corner. He misses as well. We need to get some higher quality shots. I will admit that. They drive to the lane because they think they're just going to waltz in here, but I'm not having that. Marc Gasol stands at the top. Pass over to Rudy Gay. We want to double him up just a little bit. Oh, he gets around me. Caron wasn't going to foul him. They score again. They're up 4-0 as the first quarter closes out. Randy Ford steps behind the three-point line, stops, pops, and misses yet another 3. We go into the second quarter behind 0-4. You never, ever want to go into a quarter behind at all. And the reason being is because you're going to exert so much energy trying to catch up that when it comes time to win the game, you might not have enough energy to win the game. And that's just the way it is. That's the truth. So hopefully in this next quarter, we'll be able to put together some better shot choices. And by halftime, we're able to, at the very least, tie. A tie is good enough because that means basically every team is back at the start point. And if you are at the start point going into the next half, you can go nowhere but up. So we're getting set for the second quarter. Marc Gasol is going to inbound to Michael Conley. He brings the ball up. We're going to D him up just slightly. He passes back to O.J. Mayo. O.J. Mayo just drives all down the hole, like all the way down, and they score. Blake Griffin inbounds to Chris Paul. Chris Paul throws down to Kenyon Martin. Oh, Kenyon Martin. He was bailed out by Rudy Gay giving him a personal foul. Good man. Thank you for doing that. Inbound to Chris Paul. Chris Paul swings the ball around to Nick Young. Nick Young starts to drive but doesn't do too well. Chris Paul stops, pops, get our first points of the quarter, of the game actually. We're down 6-2. We have the ball coming up court. We need to D him up. We don't need him taking his time with this ball. Oh, he got around. And they're trying to work the ball around to their open man so that they can pull up another high quality shot. But we don't need that happening. Shakes up a three and they're ahead 9-2. Inbound pass to Chris Paul. Paul to Kenyon Martin. Kenyon Martin over to Blake Griffin. Around to Nick Young. He pulls a three. Nick Young knocks down the three. Good man. Good man. Oh, if he would have got that steal, we would have been in a great position. We really don't want to go down in the next quarter. But it looks like we'll be going into halftime down by 4 points for the score of 9-5. These are 1 minute gameplays. So as you can see, our field goal percentage is 40%. We're 1 for 3 on 3-pointers. And we didn't do as well in the first half that we wanted to, but there's a place to learn from and to build from, and that's what we want to do. To give you more about the team, you know, the Clippers, they have Chauncey Billups, who comes over from the Knicks this season. They have Caron Butler from the Dallas Mavericks. They have Kenyon Martin, who returned from playing overseas in China during the lockout. Eric Bledsoe's on their team. He's regarded as, you know, a very solid contributor. And of course, everyone knows they have Chris Paul from the Charlotte Hornets, or New Orleans Hornets. If you know, you're a new guy, I always know him as the Charlotte Hornets, but New Orleans Hornets. He was traded during the offseason. They have the guy that everyone is sweating, Blake Griffin. Although he hasn't served me well so far, we're going into the next half, and we're going to try to make sure he serves us well here. So let's get prepared. We want to make sure that we play solid defense and take the highest quality shots we can take because we're playing from behind. So let's get it. Rudy Gay into Mike Conley. Conley brings the ball up. He just crossed the half-court line. Ooh, who left him all alone like that? That's insanity. You don't leave a guy like that wide open on that side of the court. I'm surprised he didn't drive in for a dunk. The ball goes up. We're down by 6 points. We want to rush the ball up court, and we want to score. I'm not sure why Blake Griffin did not run in for that. He was in a great position to run up for that ball. And as you can see, my man fell out of camera view there. They stop and pop another shot. We're down again. Ball comes inbound over to Eric Jordan. He goes in for a layup. Probably should have dunked that, but no, things happen. We're down by a solid total of 6 points. We need to get the ball back because we need to take one more shot before the quarter closes, but they're holding on to it because they don't want us to score. So on the screen, nice block with 3 seconds on the clock. Ooh, we should never pass across court like that because things like that happen. We really needed to take the ball down court and get a high quality shot to try to go in to the next quarter closer, but that did not happen. We're down by a total of 6 points. So we're going to the fourth quarter here, and we want to try to close this gap. You don't want to really resort to shooting 3-pointers, but if you have a great 3-point shooter, then you want to make sure that they get an open lane to shoot the 3-pointer that you need. So that's what I'm trying to do here. Hopefully, in this case, I'm letting the coach decide what players they want to sub in or sub out, or the coach / computer. Hopefully, he makes the decision to sub in some 3-point shooters. Blake Griffin passes in to Chris Paul. Chris Paul to Nick Young. Nick Young served us well in the first quarter shooting threes. So we're going to back him up, pop him, and he knocks the first one down. Now we're down by 3 points. We need to close this gap once again. So we need to get the ball back and take one more shot. One more great solid 3-pointer would do it for us. We're going to double team this guy up. He's holding on to the ball. There was a reach-in foul by Nick Young, and I'm pretty sure he was expecting that. But we can't let that happen. There's 14 seconds on the inbound clock, 35 seconds left on the game clock, and we just need to make sure they don't score. That's all we need to make sure of. So play solid defense and get a rebound when they miss this shot. Zach Randolph has no business shooting that shot. Caron Butler. And there's an over-the-back foul on my man Kenyon Martin. So we're about to inbound this from our side of the court. No, from their side. We need a high-quality three-pointer here because we probably will not get a chance to hold onto the ball again. Inbound to Mo Williams. Mo Williams brings it up. He stops, pops a three. He misses it. I don't know why they cleared out. It makes no sense to clear out the lane here. Knowing that we needed to get the ball back, it made no sense to clear out the lane, but they did. Now, they performed a foul in the last 2 minutes. We're going to the line again. Hopefully, they missed the shot here. We can get the ball back and try again for a solid three. But Rudy Gay seems to be a pretty good free throw shooter. And as you can tell, he didn't miss that shot. The score is 10-14. Hopefully he'll miss the second shot and we'll have a shot at getting this game, but he didn't. And we're down by 5 points. We need to take the ball up, as we do here. Pass the ball back. Kenyon Martin is not a three-point shooter, but we could try our hand. Why not? He shoots again from the corner. I don't believe that we had 3 shots and we missed each and every one of those shots. So this may be a view of what's to come. Get to a point where they're not taking us high quality shots and missing shots everywhere. So we'll see. This is still poetic for GamingIsACalling.com. We're about to check out some replays of the game. I'm pretty sure that their player of the game will probably be Rudy Gay if I was to guess, but I could be wrong. I think that they played an exceptional game here. I have to give them credit. You know, they have a solid team, and I was correct. It's Rudy Gay. 6 points, 2 rebounds. They played a solid game. Give them credit. Peace out.